In the great city of Baghdad, where myths and reality intertwined, a humble snake charmer roamed the wilderness, seeking rare serpents to capture and display. His reputation was built on his fearlessness and his ability to tame even the deadliest of creatures. Yet, nothing in his life had prepared him for what he encountered one fateful winter day in a desolate valley. The sun hung low in the sky when the snake charmer stumbled upon something that made his breath catch in his throat. There, sprawled across the valley floor, lay an enormous creature, a dragon. Its massive body stretched across the terrain, its rough, hideous form resembling a monstrous lion. Its scales were dull and lifeless, its talons curled in eerie stillness. For a long moment, the snake charmer did not move. Stories of dragons were woven into the fabric of folklore, but never had he believed them to be more than mere legend. And yet, here it was, a beast of untold power, dead. Cautiously, he stepped forward, half expecting the creature to stir. But there was no movement, no breath, no flicker of life in its enormous, glassy eyes. He reached out and placed a trembling hand against the dragon's scales. It was cold as stone, unmoving. The realization struck him like lightning. If he could bring this dragon back to Baghdad, he would be celebrated beyond measure. A dead dragon was still a dragon, something no man had ever laid claim to. But how could he move such an enormous body? The snake charmer knew he could not do this alone. Leaving the valley, he hurried back to the city, his mind racing. He sought out 10 of his strongest men, his most trusted staff, men who had worked with him for years in his snake charming and capturing endeavors. "There is something I must show you," he told them, his voice urgent. "A creature beyond your imagination." When he described what he had found, his men exchanged wary glances. "A dragon?" one of them murmured. "Even dead, that is no thing to trifle with." "I saw it with my own eyes," the snake charmer insisted. "It does not move, it does not breathe. But if we bring it to the city, we will be honored by kings." The promise of riches and renown overcame their fear. They prepared a large cart, reinforced with thick wooden planks and sturdy wheels, the kind used for carrying the heaviest of goods. Thick ropes were gathered, and with solemn determination, they set out toward the valley. Upon reaching the valley, even the bravest among them hesitated. The sheer enormity of the beast made their task seem impossible. "Are you certain it's dead?" one of the men whispered. "See for yourself," the snake charmer replied. Tentatively, they touched the dragon's body. It was cold and still, its mighty muscles stiff with time. Their fears eased, though their respect for the creature remained. With great effort, they wrapped the thick ropes around its limbs and torso. The first attempt to hoist it onto the cart ended in failure. The weight was too great. Sweat glistened on their brows as they tried again, grunting, heaving, pulling with all their strength. The dragon barely budged. The snake charmer, refusing to accept defeat, devised a new approach. Using wooden beams as levers and digging trenches beneath the dragon's frame, they gradually lifted and pushed the body onto the cart, inch by inch. It took hours of grueling effort, their muscles burning, their hands raw from the rough ropes. When the beast was finally secured, they stood back, panting, their bodies aching, but their spirits triumphant. The cart groaned under the weight, its wheels digging into the earth as they set off toward Baghdad. Each step was slow, deliberate, the burden immense, but their determination unshaken. As they entered Baghdad, a hush fell over the streets. People gasped, whispered, and pointed, some making signs of protection, others daring to step closer in awe. A dragon, real, tangible, and within their reach. News spread like wildfire. The caliph himself came to see the spectacle, his eyes widening at the sight of the monstrous beast. He ordered it to be displayed beside the great river, where all could marvel at the creature that had only ever existed in myths. The snake charmer basked in his success. He had done the impossible. He had brought a legend to life. But as the days passed, something changed. The dragon's body, once stiff and lifeless, seemed less rigid. The chill of winter had kept it in a frozen slumber. But now, in the warmth of Baghdad, something stirred within it. Then, one fateful night, as the crowds gathered by the river, it happened. At first, it was subtle. A twitch of a talon, an almost imperceptible ripple across its scales. Then, a shudder, a movement so slight that none noticed, until its eyes opened. A sudden roar split the night, shaking the city to its foundations. The dragon, thought to be long dead, was not dead at all. It had only been sleeping. With a mighty heave of its body, it shattered the cart, sending wood and ropes flying. The ground trembled as it rose to its full height, its wings unfurling with a force that sent people stumbling backward. Then came the fire. The beast, confused and enraged, unleashed a torrent of flames, igniting the streets. Panic erupted as people screamed and fled. Soldiers rushed in with spears and arrows, but nothing could stop the creature's fury. The snake charmer stood frozen. He had awoken something that should never have been disturbed. The dragon, in its wrath, soared over the city, raining fire upon its grand palaces and bustling markets. Baghdad burned. The river glowed red with reflection of flames, and the people, once filled with wonder, now ran in terror. And then, in a final act of devastation, the beast turned to the snake charmer. For a moment, he met its gaze. In those eyes, he saw not just fury, but something deeper. The self, unchained, consuming all in its path. The dragon struck, and the snake charmer was no more. The legend would live on, but the lesson would remain unspoken. When one awakens the beast within, it does not serve, it devours.